2 of the Jules podcast with my guy, Chris Keller, the GOAT himself.
Let's get it.
I'm Ron Call, and we start this podcast to give you guys the tools that you can find all the jewels that are buried within inside yourself. Thank you for tuning into the show and being a part of our community and a family here. We hope to serve you and add as much value to you as you've added to us. And our goal is to help you provide you with the tools, resources, insight, and mindset to be successful in real estate and entrepreneurship. Let's go. Today we have a very special guest. We have Gwen in the building.
Hey.
Oh, don't be all scared. No, hey, no. She's an amazing tax expert. She's going to drop bombs. We're going to show you guys how to mitigate your taxes, show you how to put yourself in a situation, get larger tax refunds. We just wanted to serve you guys. And that was always on me and Chris's heart personally was we didn't want to make this about us. We wanted to make this about what topics can we talk about that can help you guys. So I thought this was perfect time, tax season.
Perfect.
So, you know what I mean? I think it's going to be awesome. And we're going to let Gwen first start off with explaining who she is and her story. We're just very grateful for you to come down. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. So my name is Gwendolyn Pettaway. I am the owner of Pettaway Financial. We offer tax preparation services. We do credit repair. I do small business bookkeeping and accounting things for small businesses around. I started doing taxes, oh my goodness, I say back in 2000s, early 2000s.
Wow.
After I got out of high school, I learned the old-fashioned paper way. You know, you had to go to the library and get the little forms and back and forth.
Filling it in with a pencil and pen.
Yeah. So then once we transferred over to e-filing, they had little programs at the library that kind of showed you, the basics, just a basic W-2. So I started doing mine and my friends and a couple family members, and then it just escalated from there.
That's awesome. That's a blessing, man.
That's growth.
That's the best business when it's organic.
Right, and when you started from the beginning, like from
the
paper
bottom
to electronic all the way up to now.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we know about you. We really appreciate that. Well, what can people do to pay less taxes? Nobody want to pay taxes. Uncle Sam.
So that's a big one. So first of all, when we're talking employees, you get paid a check, you get a W-2 at the end of the year. So people always feel like they want more money throughout the year. But you can't get more money throughout the year and pay less taxes.
Right.
It's one or the other.
Now, what do you mean? Explain that.
So that comes into play when you fill out your W-4 when you first get a job.
Okay.
Putting down those exemptions determine how much in federal taxes they take out.
Okay.
So the higher number you put, the less federal they take out, you get more money throughout the year.
Right. So
if you put a lower number, they're going to take out the max in that federal, which means you're going to get more back on your refund because you paid into that more.
So that would mean like claiming zero, like on your, like a W-2, you would claim zero. Because I know some people, they would try to get the most money back in their checks. They go to 9, 10 people to claim. So the best way to get the maximum refund is what you're saying is like keep it at zero.
Keep it at zero.
Let them take as many taxes out, and then you'll expect a bigger refund.
Bigger refund at the end of the year, correct.
Okay, that's good insight.
Now, as far as if you're self-employed and you want to pay less taxes, that's a completely different way to go.
Okay.
So being self-employed, all the money that you make, if you're an LLC and not a corporation, is considered your income. Regardless if you put it in a business account or a personal account, it's your income. And the way to pay less taxes on that income is to pay quarterly taxes throughout the year.
Really? Why is that? Like, how does that work? Why does that work that way?
Well, because if you wait until the end of the year, you're going to owe taxes on all of the money that you made. Compared to if you take every 3 months, calculate my net revenue minus my expenses, this is how much money I made, this is how much money I need to send the IRS. Because that was tax-free money that I made for those 3 months.
That makes sense, though. So if I make $20,000 for 3 months, I can get taxed for that as opposed to at the end of the year,
getting taxed for $150,000
or $130,000. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, that's good insight. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, this is something like, because me and Chris are in the real estate space. Now, what advice do you give people that want to start their first small business? I know they come to you for accounting and tax advice. What do you tell them so they can set it up the right way?
Oh, my goodness. So that's one of the biggest things.
I
get
know.
a lot of people that want to start businesses and they Google and find all these websites that charge an arm and a leg, and it doesn't cost that much to actually, get started, the paperwork and things like that. What I tell people is, I'll take them through the steps. Get your EIN, file for your LLC, make sure that name isn't taken before you apply for the EIN.
Okay.
you get to the end of the year and when it comes to filing taxes, oh, I've had people bring me just a big shoebox full of
Just
just full of
receipts
receipts and
everything.
papers. And the thing is, they don't know how to organize or how to, take that time to build their business the right way.
Right.
And that's as simple as just keeping track of how much money you're making, whether it's daily, weekly. I don't care if it's just a small notebook.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
QuickBooks even has something simple for self-employed individuals. You don't have to sign up for a massive account or go get an accountant. You can just, go on there. It'll let you take pictures of your receipts. It'll help you try to categorize where it needs to go, which makes it easier to file taxes at the end of the year.
Right.
Because now we know exactly how much money you're made. We're not on PayPal or Cash App with a calculator for 2 hours because we got to add up all these transactions that you had throughout the year. So.
And I think it look a lot more legit too, like when you get exact dollar and cents. Because some people I know they try to probably just formicate it like, I think I spent like 400 on floors and 300 over here. It don't look too good when you just got solid 100. I spent 150 for this. I spent 250 for this. If you got 154.23 and you got numbers booked for the whole year and you bring it to her like QuickBooks, lined up organizably, Ron, you gave me an app too though that helps you organize everything. I think it does make your job probably 10 times easier for one. And it's keeping all your numbers, right where you need them to be. And if you want to go back a year or two, you can always do that.
And paper trail is always good, especially when it comes to once you start building that business and say you need banking, you need a loan. They're not going to go off of, oh, I think I made, or I think I spent. No, you need that paper to show this is how much I made, this is my expenses, things like that.
Exactly.
That's great stuff. That's great stuff. Now, what are some apps you advise? Like, because I put it on mine, because I do rental property and other. I sell houses too, so I have an app called Landlord Studio. So I keep all my expenses in there. Every time I get an expense, I go right in there. What are some mobile apps you advise for small business people, or do you just advise them to use QuickBooks? What do you advise?
I do advise QuickBooks only because that's what I use at my business. And it's easier for, say, somebody's been doing it themselves for a while and they're like, okay, I'm getting overwhelmed or my business is growing. It can be something as simple as they can give me access to their QuickBooks, being their bookkeeper, and it can go from there. I know they do have other small business apps or self-employed apps that people can use, especially people that have something simple like Uber or Uber Eats. It'll help them keep track of their mileage and expenses and things like that.
The one I use is Mile EQ.
Mile EQ, yeah.
And every time I run around, he says, was this personal or was it a swipe?
Because our miles look crazy after so many tours, so many lunches, going all over this little city of Toledo, north, south, east, west.
I know.
Miles might look ridiculous.
I know. All right, so that's how you guys start. Now you said let's break down the 3 things that you need to start the business. What is an EIN number? Like, 'cause I want to give them more value. What is the EIN number?
So that's your employee identification number.
Okay.
So that's how the IRS determines what business is what. So it's kind of like a social security number for a business.
Okay.
And that is free to get on IRS.gov. Some people go on there and Google it, and they're like, okay, by the time I got done, it was like $89. No.
Yeah, I know a lot of people
absolutely
that pay
free.
$100 for that every time they go and file a LLC or whatnot.
Well, see, the LLC does cost. The EIN is free.
Okay, so the EIN number is
So
free.
EIN for you guys, the EIN is free. That is your tax identification number, right?
Yes.
For your business. That's
business.
free. Now the LLC requires like 4 documents, right? I know, like articles of operations. You know all those, right?
Right. So
let's talk about those.
If you do it on Ohio Secretary of State or Ohio Business Gateway, you don't have to necessarily file all those documents yourself. It's an all-inclusive package, and that is $99. The thing is, you do want to do a business search for Ohio, like I said, to make sure that business name isn't taken. Because say you go get a EIN under this business name, and you're like, okay, I'm about to start my business, and then I go to file my LLC using that name, I got the EIN, and it pops up, oh, that business is already taken.
Right. Then what, you got to pay another $100 again to get
No, because you haven't filed that LLC. What you have to do is now you have to get a completely different EIN number because you have to change that business name. That's why it's important to search that name first and make sure it isn't taken before you even take the steps to start filing for a business.
Right.
Okay, so that's the jewel, guys. Before you get your EIN, do a search for LLC in Ohio. And does it matter if it's used in like California?
Nope. It's specific
Only
to
for
Ohio.
Okay.
Only for Ohio. Do you got any jewels you can give them where they can check to see if the name is available?
Yeah, let me get the exact website because
Yeah.
there are a few.
Yeah, just
And
cut
you
out the
wanna-
little search so much though. Yeah, because I would hate for somebody to go and file an EIN, got this great name.
I
And
know.
it actually happened to me.
Really?
For before Provision Investments, I was looking at a different name, and I was so hyping the name, getting the
Started talking
logo
about it
made
too
and
soon.
everything, and it was like,
know,
that's not
I know,
available. I
I
said,
know.
oh my goodness. So I
I
had to
know.
go back to the drawing board. So this will take a lot of time wasted from people, though.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So you want to go to it's Ohio Business website. So it's sos.state.oh.us. And on there has a list of all types of business services that they offer. So you can check for forms, fees, certificates, and you can do a business search, and that'll help you
Sweet.
find that name, to
Okay.
see if that
Okay.
name is available. It'll even show, like say you put in Pettaway Financial. So it may show other businesses that either have Pettaway in the name or financial in the name, so you
Okay.
can look and see.
Yeah.
Awesome. These are the jewels.
Jewels.
Like, this is the stuff that touched my heart, right? We can talk about money all day, but it's like when we connecting and giving people that are brand new to the game, that really is special to me and Chris. So it's
Yeah.
like, now you can start off right, and there should be no drama.
No drama. No drama.
Get your QuickBooks. If you do a little flip on the side, you know exactly where to put that money.
Yeah,
You got
most
expenses, put it right there. And that's exactly what we want you guys to do, to start off. Now, this is a good one right here. What is the benefit of starting an LLC far as tax write-offs? Because that's a huge thing. People want to just do all their stuff without an LLC. What's the difference?
What do you mean do all?
Meaning, like, let's say I have my business, but I don't have an LLC set up. Is it just, isn't there a benefit where you have your LLC and you're writing off your business expenses versus, because a lot of times you can't write off those expenses like you're as a regular person versus your expense like
Right.
gasoline. Ain't no gasoline for no regular person getting rolled
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Not at all, not at all. So the number one benefit definitely of having an LLC is being legitimately on paper as a business.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, that can go for banking institution. That even goes for a lot of grants and things that we just had because of COVID. A lot of businesses didn't qualify because they were just self-employed.
Exactly what I was trying to
They
say.
did have some geared towards sole proprietorship, and that's where you don't have to file an LLC. You can run your business under your social security number, but there's kind of that little bit of scrutiny because it's like, you know,
Yeah.
is this really a business? Is this person not? So that's why I try to gear people towards, just go ahead and file that LLC, to get that going. And yes, there are a lot of tax write-offs.
That's what we're trying to bring
That's
to
it.
everyone. Like, people don't realize a lot of the stuff, because I think like you can write off like, what is it, 33% of your house if it's your home office. Like, it's a lot of stuff. I'm not a tax expert. That's why we brought you here to give people those insights. Like, so when you have the LLC and you're like, let's say you do financial, so you can do consulting. Now you can write off like a vast amount of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to give people, that insight.
That type of
Definitely,
insight,
definitely.
yeah.
So some of the main things when it comes to tax write-offs that people get confused about is business expenses and deductions are two different things.
Okay, school us. What's the difference?
Business expenses are things that you incur directly from your business. So that would be like advertising. I bought business cards and flyers and Facebook ads. Your insurance, if you pay contract laborers, like if you have independent contractors that work for you.
Out-of-pocket
Wages,
expenses.
supplies, repairs, things like that. Now deductions can be filed for business owners or personal. But the thing with deductions is if you itemize those deductions, they have to be more than the standard deduction that the IRS already gives you. So that's things like your medical bills, your co-pays, your prescriptions, things along those lines, your mortgage interest payments and taxes and things like that. So people think, oh, I'm going to claim this on my taxes, it's going to help. But
Yeah.
if that stuff doesn't add up to more than the total they already give you, it kind of doesn't affect your taxes really.
That's good insight. I didn't know that.
And,
So-
yeah, and I'm wondering too though, because I've been seeing like a lot of people post like, is there anything for specifically like this year with COVID and everything going on, why people are getting like big refunds this year? I don't know, maybe some type of hidden. I'm trying to think about. I don't
Like a
know,
hidden
like
credit we
like
don't
a
know about?
like maybe a hidden credit or something you can add to your taxes to maybe make it increase higher, or because I'm this year I've just been seeing a lot of people like, hey, I'm getting $15,000 and $20,000 back, and these are just regular people with maybe one independent or two independent, but the taxes are very high this year. So I don't know, in the tax world, if there's certain things you should know that you could do that may increase your taxes, though.
So what it is due to COVID, a lot of things changed. They raised a lot of credits that didn't used to be as high as they were.
Yeah.
So especially things like the child tax credit.
Okay.
That got raised to $3,000 per child. If they're over 6, under 6, you get $3,600.
Wow. Okay.
So the thing is, some people went ahead and took those advance payments that they were giving out July to December.
Okay.
So technically they were advance payments for this year. So this year you would have got $3,000. If you took the advance payment, that means they already paid you $1,500. So you'll only get $1,500 on your taxes.
The regular.
A lot of my tax clients, when that came up and I told them about it, I told them, I said, if you want a bigger tax refund, opt out of those payments. So now if I opted out of those payments and I got 3 kids, even if I did not make any money, I got $9,000 right there.
Wow. That's a jewel right there.
That is a jewel there.
Yeah, because that's going from $1,500 to $3,000 plus per child, though. And I know some of y'all be needing it right now. Y'all need your money, and I need it right now.
That's
but
why we're doing this show.
Hey.
On top of that, the child daycare expenses, that went up.
Yeah.
Now you get back like 50% of what you paid. Before it was way less
Oh,
than that.
yes.
That's a jewel. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So you can claim that. All you have to have is that daycare's information, the name, the address, their EIN number, of course, and the amount you paid. But say you pay your cousin or your auntie or somebody who watches your kid as well. You're able to use that. They do have to write a statement saying you did pay them this amount of money. All you need is their name, address, and social security number.
Yeah.
And you get that portion of that child care credit back.
She's giving y'all dimes.
Dime jewels, though.
Dimes.
I know once upon a time I was one of those guys that used to have to do that with Mom Dukes. My mom would watch my daughter, and we had set up a little payment arrangement, and I'm like, Mom, what's the social security number? She's like, what you need my social security for? I'm like, so we can get these credits extra. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is good to learn like that they have went up on that, because daycares right now are very expensive, very, very expensive. So best thing to do is, get your maximum refund that you can from paying that back and utilize that jewel. That was a jewel she just gave y'all.
It is. I didn't even know that.
So there's another big credit right now that some people know about, some don't. So they have a self-employed Covet credit.
What's
so
that
it's
about?
for people who own small businesses or self-employed. So if you have a regular job, getting paid W-2, check, whatever, they have medical leave for COVID. So, you get paid.
Right.
Being a self-employed individual, you don't have that.
There is.
So there's no employer to pay you that. So
Okay.
part of the PATH Act and things like that, the COVID relief that came out was that we're going to pay these self-employed individuals X amount of days for having to take off because of COVID.
Okay.
So, and they calculate that off of your net income. So once you put all your revenue, expenses, bam, okay, you got $20,000 left that you made for the year. On there, you can put how many days you had to take off of work due to you having COVID, having to take care of somebody with COVID, if your kid's school was closed for COVID. And they give you that extra credit percentage off of the income that you made.
Yeah, that's golden.
That's
That's
huge.
golden right there.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Raise
That's
refunds.
huge.
Because some of these things they don't want. I don't know. It's almost like they don't want people to know it. It's like.
Nah, I think people ain't. Nah, I think people ain't up on top of it.
I know a lot of people like her. She's she's a tax professional, but I don't think they advertise it enough that for the self-employment thing that you can actually do that. But I mean, that's golden though, man. That you're able to do that, because self-employed people they got to take days off. Incentives. So it's good to know the IRS is looking out for self-employment.
I love it. So, what are some things that qualify as a tax write-off, and some of the things that don't?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Okay. So
I know it's a tricky one. I know.
We talking to the expert.
Definitely, like I said, expenses you incur directly with your business. So whether that's the supplies you have to buy, if you have to get repairs done, office expense, things like that. So the trickiest part is when people go to deal with their vehicles.
Mm.
People think, oh, I can write my car off, but if that vehicle is not specifically a business vehicle, it gets a little tricky because you can only claim a portion of what's being used. What people tend to think is, okay, I got my mileage, then I got my gas, and I had to pay for oil changes, this, and that. You can't claim both. You either claim your actual expenses, gas, repairs, or mileage. You can't claim both.
Now, which one gives? I know the answer, but I'm just. Which one gives the better deduction back?
Mileage gives a better.
Now,
deduction.
why does mileage give a better deduction back? Why does the government encourage people to use mileage versus the itemized expenses?
Because itemized expenses, it doesn't give you the full cost of what you spent on it. It's more. You have to do it more like a depreciation value. So it's not like I paid $500-$600 to get this repaired, so now I'm going to get that $500-$600 back. That's not how that works. Okay. Now when you do the mileage rate, they take into consideration all of those things, so that's why the mileage rate is so high. So they're like, okay, not only are you putting the wear and tear on your car, you have to get oil changes. You may have had to fix something. So,
the depreciation of the actual car.
Facts. I learned that. I was talking to one of my accountants. I was like, I got all these expenses over here. And he was like, yo, the mileage is a higher deduction. I was like, oh, we'll go mileage.
Definitely.
You might as well go mileage. That's how we save in real estate. Just, value and devalue and we move forward with
Exactly.
I mean.
What a lot of people don't know, too, as far as claiming business expenses is things like meals. So if I'm having one of my other businesses, she designs, I do decorating. So when I have my client meetings, we go to lunch, you can deduct those expenses. That is a business expense.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can't include your margaritas and things on that bill. Yeah. Because alcohol is not supposed to be included in those business bills. So the trick is, tell your waiter, can you please put my drinks on one bill and the food on another?
That's a dime right there. I didn't even think of that because I'm like, we take me and Chris got a couple buddies and they put them down.
They put them down. I know which way to go now, though.
I'm like, hey, put his bill over there.
Talk about $100 bills, man. Going nuts.
I love it. Okay, so you guys got a jewel there. Make sure you catch that. Mileage is the key to this game. And like I said, they got apps that you can download on your phone that will literally, everywhere you go, it automatically shows where you went. I don't have to think about it. I'm like, okay, did I go to Target and buy something? And you click it over there and say, what did you buy? I bought supplies. Click, done.
Right.
Because at first I was trying to I'll keep a little log. No, you won't.
Yeah, no, I used to be the old shoebox guy back in the day. Like, let me put every receipt I got in here, but it's ways, y'all. It's new technology out here. Multiple apps to use.
Oh, yeah.
Utilize them.
All right, we're about to give y'all a super jewel. I know me and Gwen was talking. I was like, how do you can pay no tax? I'm going to show you how. She's like, I don't know about that. But I do know about that.
No tax.
So this is the thing why me and Chris are big on real estate. You got a thing called depreciation, where it's like if you buy a property for $50,000, $100,000, you can depreciate that over 27.5 years. And literally that goes against your earned income. Every single time goes against the income of that property, and it keeps going down, and that can lower your taxable income, but you still get the appreciation value, and you still get the cash flow of the property. So that's why we're big on buying property, because it reduces your taxable income down, keeps bringing it down, because it's an additional deduction. So you divide that 100,000 by 27. That's another. I don't know. I'm not good with math, so no. I don't know. Whatever that would be, another couple thousand per year coming off of your total income. So that's a dime there. That's how you can end up eventually. Actually, if you acquire enough properties or get into some partnership with one of us or something, we do in an apartment building or something, you can use that and depreciate against your income.
Yeah, like this year, our furnaces been going out left and right. You can probably use that against as a depreciation. Deduction.
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't know too is that in regular business, it's not just real estate. The equipment that you buy for your business can be depreciated. The thing
everything
is,
can be depreciated.
You can't claim that whole expense. So say I buy this big new printer system, cost me $800+.
Yes.
You can either deduct that entire expense that year, or you can depreciate the value of it over the years.
Over time.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is that depreciation called? It's called, is it called rapid depreciation? It's a term that's slipping my mind where you can, like, okay, right, because I know properties. I can write off my cabinets and countertops. Is it called advanced depreciation, where it's like everything you depreciate, all of the stuff?
All at once.
What is it called? My brain is freezing.
I don't have the word for it.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I do.
So quick question for me. So is it like we talked about the printer, so you mean over time? So would you deduct like maybe 25% each year until like
so it does it for you
or?
automatically when you do supplies and things like that. I think some items you can deduct over a 3-year period, some are 5, as far as it goes, as equipment goes.
Yeah.
The trick with that is, so say you like, okay, I made too much money, I just want to claim this whole expense. An expense goes against your net income.
Okay.
So if I made $20,000 and I deduct that full $800, is going to deduct that full $800. Compared to depreciation, all depreciation would do is deduct the taxable amount of income, so it won't really change what it looks like you made as far as that income goes, which is really important because people come in and they want to have this long list of expenses, which is fine if that's what you paid. But on paper, it'll look like your business isn't making money.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. That was the next question. What are the pitfalls of writing off all your income?
That is the biggest pitfall, is looking like your business is not making any money.
Yeah. Right. I can understand.
So you can start off with, my revenue was $200,000, but by the time you give me all these expenses and we get to the bottom, you made $30,000.
Yeah, it ain't making sense.
They're going to look at $30,000 because at the end of the day, that's how much you made after all your expenses and your bills, and so that's how much money you're making, not that $200,000.
Exactly, and you better be careful because they're watching the profiles too.
That's why I tell you guys the power of real estate. When you get these, even with like she said, the equipment depreciation, you can still make more money and have deductions against it where it makes sense. But if you out here trying to write off all your income, like I told my tax guy, I was like, show income. I know I got a ton of expenses. Show me some income. So I got to go to that bank and we have to have that discussion. Yeah. Ready to buy another property when Mr. Market get his act together.
Yeah.
I'm ready to buy some more. So you have to show 2-3 years of income. You can't show -0.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody want to show 0.
And that's good too, because a lot of people do try to hide their expenses. Like you're going to get in trouble for making, X amount of dollars, but like we said, it goes against when you put the depreciation in there. It evens it out, and you may get a bigger even refund. So don't hide your money you make, people. Is what we'll be telling y'all.
Exactly. And then Gwen probably knows this. I know if it's earned income, it's like, tell us the tax brackets of earned income, because I can't remember because I don't really look at that side. Where it's like if you make $60,000, $90,000, $120,000. 200,000. How does that? Do you mind going through that?
Different brackets.
Ooh, so I don't have that with me, but
you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Okay. It changes every year. You know, as far as how you're taxed, as far as that earned income credit you get for your kids. So that was another big.
That was another one. It's like $12,000.
Yeah.
Right?
So this year is a lot of people are like, geez, I thought I was getting a little bit more back. Well, once you get to that $30,000-$40,000
now you
range,
know what I'm talking about. Yep.
You're more in that middle class. You're not considered the lower class, and that's who they give all that earned income credit to and things like that to help at the end of the year.
She's dropping a jewel on you guys. Now just think, imagine this. Like I try to take people to the next level of their life. Imagine this: if you had a small LLC and you was doing some stuff on the side. Guess whose income just came down? Now you can get these extra credits. You just don't want to show no income. But if you want to write off another 20 grand and you'd have made another 30 grand off your business, now you come down and you still get all those credits.
Exactly. It makes sense for the first year, just for the first year, because when you first starting off, you spending thousands and thousands, maybe you get set up, and you are making income, but you're taking it away. But over the time, it'll level out though.
Yeah, you out the door.
It'll level out the door. just don't break yourself. Don't break yourself.
Now, that's why we want people to think like, what can I start as a small business on the side that'll actually help me reduce my taxable income and I still get all these credits? That's the game. Because regular people are getting murdered on taxes.
Yeah.
Getting murdered. Oh, I go to work, I made $80,000. Like, well, we're going to help you with that. You're getting murdered on taxes, and then self-employed people don't want to show any income. It's like, you can't do that.
You can't win both sides.
You know what I mean? But you can combine them like rich people do. They buy businesses and write off all that, don't take an income, and they ain't got to pay no taxes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, yeah, we didn't make any money, but the company's doing great.
Yeah. Not to be one-sided with it, but real estate probably is really the best, like, route to go. You know, if, like you said, like, what kind of business somebody can get started, like a rental. You can just buy a rental. Just buy a rental, report the amount of income you make per month. Yes. And then we, of course, have to rehab the house. So you put that in there. Too. Yeah, and that's deductions, and that can help you level out.
It's called accelerated depreciation.
Oh,
yeah, accelerate. That was the word you were looking for, huh?
Accelerate the depreciation in a year. Yes.
Yeah.
It just came to me.
But yeah, I mean, that's for anybody, though. You can do nails, you can do hair, you can do, you know, any type of business, but just take these Jews and implement that towards your business, though. Yeah.
And keep growing, and don't be afraid to expand and invest the money. That's what I learned. Is you invest the money today, it's going to save you tomorrow. And it'll give you some deductions so that when you really start earning a lot of money, you can lower your tax bracket. So instead of being $120,000, you can maybe be able to slide down into the 60, and you still saving money because the tax guy going to still take 30 grand out of you. You might as well get it down.
Uncle Sam going to get his regardless.
So that's why, like, my thing is show income, but don't show all the income. Pay your taxes.
Right.
I'm not an advisor. This is for educational purposes. Don't pay your taxes.
Pay them to zero, too.
Exactly. So we talked about the power of depreciation. Where we at on time?
That was still good.
What does that mean?
About 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, so we talked about the power of depreciation. We talked about, let's kind of talk about the advantages of starting a small business. Maybe people don't really understand some of the tax advantages that come with having a small business versus just working at, let's say, a General Motors.
Okay. So I think the main thing with starting your own business is not so much tax relevant.
Okay.
I think it's more on just building that enterprise for yourself that has potential for growth.
Okay.
You have to think when you work at a job, they schedule you for this amount of hours. You make this amount of money per hour, so your income is capped, regardless of where you work at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to where, if you're self-employed, you have the power to determine how much money your business is going to make and continue to make.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so that's a big number one thing is that balance of my work life and my personal.
Yeah.
That just having that balance and everything. As far as starting a business, like, I mean, I work.
I know you work. Hey, I seen her Facebook page. She was like, furnace done went out. I was like, man, I feel for you. So
some people mistake it. They like, oh, I want to work for myself. I want to work. But the goal is not to work for yourself and then start to have a lot of time off. Like when you first start, all of us in this room, like, start our own businesses, like, you gotta grind. You probably gotta put in more hours.
You're gonna be
more hours than you was at GM. I know I was staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning. Every day, relentlessly. So people like do keep in mind though. When you are working for yourself, you gotta get out there. You gotta grind. You gotta probably gonna put more hours in than what you put at work. And then when everything get built, then you can calm down just a little bit. And relax. And that's when you start taking advantage of your own time. You got your own time. No?
Yeah, we're going to keep building on this topic. And another thing, like me and Chris can kind of attest to this. It's one of the hardest things, but I think it's one of the most valuable things is finding like-minded people that actually are putting in the work. If you can find some people that you want to work with. This is another thing I learned. Sometimes your greatest partner might not even be in your industry.
Might not yet. You might not even meet them yet.
Even be in your industry.
Or in your field. Yeah.
Yep. Like, you know what I mean? Like Gwen's doing taxes. I have no desire to do taxes. But you never know. We could combine. Not saying we are. I'm saying we could combine where she's doing taxes and I'm providing business consulting. Guess what? Now you funneling more business.
It's networking.
Yeah, network. I'm a big believer in that. Like once you find something like, okay, one guy may do countertops and another guy may do tile work.
Yeah.
Dude, if y'all put y'all marketing together...
Yeah.
Now y'all got a bigger imprint and a bigger impact. Guess what? Y'all provide them services, but you got to put the ego to the side.
Yeah, you got to.
Like
just even knowing somebody like Gwen, like if I got a tax question, it's sweet.
She's not gonna answer you, dog.
she might be booked though, but just to know somebody who may be able to answer a question for you or help you with something, where you can call a personal line where you ain't got to go into H&R Block.
Yep.
Because honestly, I don't think those people have the best interest for a lot of their clients personally, but take it as you will or whatnot.
Well,
but
you know what?
Knowing people that do,
like, as Gwen probably knows, like, this is still a service business, but it's also a sales business. Somebody said they want this one, I want all the money back. All right, this is on you.
Yeah.
This is your tax refund.
The costs go up too. You're putting her to work more, the costs gonna go up some more too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So another thing with that, as far as businesses and, people not being in the same industry, I think it's important too to have relationships with people in the same industry.
Okay.
So just like me with doing taxes, I know quite a few people that do taxes. Sometimes my schedule is booked and I got people that like, no, I need an appointment. I don't mind referring them to somebody that I know is legit about their business and things like that. I mean, and that goes with all of my businesses.
Yeah.
Even events. When I first started my event business, I was doing everything myself.
Yeah.
From the linen to the treats and the centerpieces and the balloons. Not anymore because I spread myself too thin. But I had to start getting that income first to be able to pay other people or outsource other things. So I even do small things for other people who have design business. Still reach out and say, hey, I don't have time to do these balloons. Can you do some balloons? Things like that. Just having those relationships with other like businesses, different, businesses, like people who do treats and cakes and things like that. That's not the same as decorating, but guess what? I know somebody who needs a cake. I know some, that networking, because what it does is when they find somebody who needs something, guess who they're going to refer?
They coming right to
They're
you.
coming right back.
They're right to you, though,
Definitely.
And some people they do get greedy sometimes. Like, I know somebody, but I'm booked. I really want to do it myself so I can make your money, but give it off to somebody else, man. The blessing's going to come in return.
Yeah, Chris preached that.
I got... Me and Ron, we got houses for days, though, but if it's an in particular one you're looking for, you got an FHA loan for this amount, I might not have it in my inventory, but my guy over here might have it.
Yep.
And trust me, man, people are very appreciative when you send them continuous business. And I guarantee you, it's going to come back to you one way or another.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's a jewel there. Like, me and Chris have both experienced this, where you're giving and sometimes the reciprocation ain't there. But God has always got your back.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
All
Like,
the time.
you're like, man, it's been a rough month. God may slide you a easy deal. You're like, thank you.
Yeah.
God,
real
thank
quick.
you. So it's like it always comes back. I believe all energy is always conserved. Good energy, bad energy, all the energy stays. So try to put as much good energy into the universe as possible, good energy into others as possible. And when you do that, it comes back.
Yeah, like this podcast, it's juice, it's free.
Every time me and Chris, literally, every time, like literally, that's what we're going to talk about now. Literally, we didn't stop doing the podcast because we didn't want to do podcast. We stopped doing the podcast because we created literally a real estate show on YouTube.
Right, YouTube, we got houses and
me and this man
contractors
literally
to
have
deal with.
careers. Like, you know what? We can provide so much more value because nobody really knows. Nobody gets to see inside the houses. Nobody gets to see the rehab projects.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to see how bad the house is. Oh, man. Nobody's like, yo, don't touch that house. Nobody knows.
And I'm not going like off the fix and flip show. I'm not going to show you the beautiful. I'm going to show you the good, bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to show you the end piece, too. We incorporate the numbers in there. We let y'all know how to contact the, the contractors, etc. But
that'll change your life, man. I was just like, dude, we can give. And at the end of the day, it comes back to, how can we serve more people and how can we give more?
Most definitely,
That's the secret.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So for Gwen, though, so what got you into the like tax business though? Like, what made you want to jump into that world though? Like, because I know you didn't just wake up one morning like, I think I want to do taxes.
No, but
Did you just elevate up?
I was definitely a math geek.
Okay.
All about numbers.
Yeah.
And I had somebody that was like, oh, you should start learn how to do, taxes. And that's when she, showed me how to do the paper portion of it. And I was like, okay, that's not too bad. And then it got a little more intriguing, once I moved from just doing people with W-2s, my little friends that I work with, to dealing with businesses and things like that. And what people don't understand is, they have tax courses here and there you can take to teach you how to do basic taxes. But tax preparation is a continual education type of industry.
Because it changes every year.
And it changes it can change mid-year.
Yeah.
So you have to stay on top of all the tax laws and the changes and the amounts, the taxable income, the credits, and so it's a continuous. So you definitely have to be one of those numbers, math.
Mathematicians.
Sometimes it can get overwhelming.
Do you
As
have
any business.
Hey, it can though. Most definitely though.
But definitely when you're dealing with people and their money that they want or are expecting.
Yeah, because people not gonna play about their funds. Do you have any anything for someone out there who may be wanting to start taxes, like where they can get some education from, where they can or maybe even you may educate them, or somewhere where they can kind of jump their foot in the field? And
so like I said, there are a lot of places that offer like little small tax courses online that you can take just to get that general idea. But it's always good to start in a small office or maybe start virtual, which is what I did with a lot of people that work for my office. I just started them simple tax returns. We're going to teach you how to do simple, just W-2s, not a lot of deductions, exemptions, just so you can get used to filing the taxes. And then build up from there. I mean, because that's what I had to do. You just can't jump in there and think, okay, I'm going to do this corporation taxes. It's all completely different. So
I feel like for every owner though, like before you get to that like virtual level, you got to have your foot in the game, like every single where, like you were saying, like before I went virtual, I was doing everything for myself. I was like for real estate, we was the person that make the calls. We was the person that signed the contract. We was the person that do this, do that. Then once you understand the whole operation, the whole business flow, then you can, start delegating it to different people to start saving your time and building your business up.
Definitely.
People quit trying to skip that phase. You gotta go. You can't just go straight to the corporate office. You gotta get your feet muddy. You gotta get your feet wet a little bit, man. Ron know about it. Ron, what I did, I called you the other day. Ron was still making cold calls.
Oh, they got the wrong guy. I was like,
he was like, I don't stop Chris for nothing. I don't care about that.
I don't care. Literally.
Straight up.
That whole story is funny. I was like, we had to. Like people may hear us talk sometimes, like, man, I can't believe you said that. But after you start paying out expenses to staff and stuff, I don't want you to be all-star Michael Jordan, but I want you to be a solid player on the team. You know what I mean? I can't just be paying out and nothing coming back.
Exactly though. I mean, and it can get expensive though too, because you got to balance it out though. Like. In our months, it might be a month we make $10,000. Might be a month we make $500 though.
That's how it works.
And I mean, if you still got to pay the staff full amount, that $500 month, I'm jumping back on the phones myself. Or
And that's another thing, man. I'm extremely passionate. You do whatever it takes to make your team win.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean? Whatever it takes. So if that means Ron got to go over here, I mean, I don't do demo and construction. I'm too old for all that. But, I mean, I'll help out. Like, what do you guys need? Need supplies? I'll go to Home Depot, Menards. I'll make it happen for my team. Like, it does not matter, whatever they need. So if I got to go do walkthroughs and show houses, I got one guy came over to one of my houses the other day. He had a nice blazer. I'm like, it must be nice, man. I got my construction stuff on. I saved the blazer for the podcast.
For the podcast, though. Probably had it in your back seat, man.
I did have 2 coats in the truck. I was just like, dude.
Most definitely.
I had the car heard on. I'm like, by any means, what I mean? By any means,
But I feel like that's most definitely an important thing to do. Like, especially you organizing a business, like, you got to know what you want your other people, what you need them to do. So in order to do that, I feel like you may have to do it yourself first. You know what I mean? Yeah, so don't ever get too big-headed to feel like, I'm too good to do some taxes on paper, or don't feel like I can't do the tours or something.
Because if that computer go down, guess what?
Exactly.
Them taxes don't have to be done
She gonna pour them daddies right up out the file.
Going to the paper.
We still gonna get it done.
I love it. I love it.
It's the mindset though,
I love that so much.
Definitely.
I love that so much. What are some mistakes people make when they file their taxes? Like when they bring them to you? Like what are some things that people may be missing? Or, you know what I mean, some of the common mistakes like that people may not know about, what paperwork they need for their tax returns. You know what I mean? Like some people just don't know.
Yeah, so like I said, one of the most common things is not having, especially when it comes to businesses, not knowing what they need. Some people don't know what they need.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know, as far as, you know, keeping track of that revenue and expenses, or knowing what expenses they can claim.
Right.
You know, as far as, you know, I got a list when I go down, you know, when businesses come in and they're like, oh, I didn't know I can claim that. So they're writing it down. So let me tell you what all you can claim, so you can go get those numbers for me, so you can get, you know, you can maximize that income, so you don't have to pay so many taxes, you know.
Because I know one guy, he's the much bigger level than any of us, but he was like, he was a Grant Cardone. He's like, oh, I had a tax bill of like a couple million. He's like, I just buy a jet to write it off. Like, but it made sense.
It did though. And remember, they weren't trying to sell him that jet.
No, that's how the game
just wired the deposit to him and told him like, hey, y'all gonna take this money.
I dream a big dog flex, like, oh, you know, you ain't selling it, here's the money today.
We on the road. We on the way.
Right. Because there's so many things, like, you just big dog it, like, okay, you know, 190, here's 95. Like, dang, just went over the top.
It don't hurt to throw an extra 5,000 in there if you're gonna get it off in taxes.
Facts. Because that's the thing, taxes gonna eat either way. People don't see it that way. I don't want to spend 45. I'm like, well, you're gonna get taxed 27.
So
spend the 45.
Do it.
Yeah. So on time. I don't even know, because I've got this live going.
Oh, we got 10.
Okay,
10
cool.
minutes.
So, all right, if you was to give some people, as we close this session, if you were to give people some jewels on, you know, taxes, or just even starting a small business, because we're all small businesses here, what would you want to tell the people?
I think the number one thing is, if you're serious about your passion, whether you're doing hair at home, nails at home, make it a business. Go ahead and get that LLC. The main thing is, when you're an LLC, they consider members not personally responsible for the actions of the business. So if something goes wrong and they're like, okay, this business did that, they can't attack your personal assets. The only thing is, a judge can overrule that, which is called piercing the corporate veil. And that's if you do not keep your personal and your business separate.
Okay.
So say I got this business, but everything going into my personal account. Or I'm spending personal stuff out of my business account. So now the courts can't differentiate what's business and what personal. So everything is up for grabs.
Right.
So I tell people, get that LLC and get that business account.
Yes.
If you need, and you know, that money that's coming in is your income. But if you need to spend that money, take it out. And put it in your personal account.
Take it out.
Pay yourself.
Do a owner's pay. Do it. You know, you could put something in the memo. Take it out and put it in your personal. That way, when it comes down to something being wrong with the business, only that business income. Only that business for they can come take my house. They can't come take my car. You know, things that's separate. That's all my personal stuff. It'll only be your business. And a lot of people don't understand that. And they're like bringing me bank statements that I got to highlight was business transaction. Okay, well, I'm sure when you went to Wendy's, that wasn't, you know, when you know, when you were at Urban Air, or, you know, things like that, you know.
The entity protects you, though.
It does.
Like the entity of an LLC, though.
Person.
It
does.
That's a dime, guys. That's a dime. That's another. Massive jewels and massive value. We just really appreciate your time and coming out.
Oh, no problem.
And where can people find you and request your services?
Okay, Pettaway Financial is located at 1455 South Reynolds Road, right by Reynolds and Airport. We're across from ABC Warehouse, small little plaza right there. Like I said, we offer the tax preparation services, small business bookkeeping. So if you need that help with keeping track of everything so that at the end of the year your tax preparation goes smoothly, we offer that. We have notary services. We have
I love it.
credit repair services. So we have a lot going on there. Definitely.
Everything. I might be stopping in the office myself.
There you go. You know, that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of this.
We also offer with audits. So we have insurance and offer audit protection for our clients, but we do offer help with audits from other offices.
Okay.
There are a lot of offices out there that have just started up and don't do the research they need, and they don't help those clients. They just get those tax refunds and they get their fees, and that's it. So when something happens, you know, when the IRS send you paperwork, if you don't know, you don't know. Because you'll be reading it like this. What does this mean? What does this mean?
I know.
I swear, they be like code 72905.
Exactly. And you have no idea what that is. And if that office is not willing to help you, you're just out cold.
And trust me, people, like she said, if if you get an audit, go to a professional. I tried it. I wish I knew you like 2 or 3 years ago. I got audited, and I put the biggest packet I could. I gave them every single thing. I gave them Social Security cards, birth cards, bills, everything. Sent it in. It was like,
nope, still not enough.
Nope. And I'm like, what? But I wish I would have knew somebody that was that can help me at the time. I just thought it was something you handle yourself though. So that was a big jewel though that she just gave us. If you get audits, stop in her office though. Let her help you out. She can get it knocked out the right way.
Oh, yeah.
Make the IRS say yes and release those funds.
Facts.
That's dope.
So all you guys, man, reach out to her. We do these shows to give value to you guys because me and Chris didn't have this stuff when we first started. I didn't have nobody to talk to for tax advice. I didn't have nobody to talk to how to set up an LLC. So we want to just keep giving you guys every single tool to manifest your dreams. If it's real estate investing, if you want to work with us, buying property, if you want to do private investing of your money with us, get a return, whatever the thing may be. We just want to give you all the tools so you set it up correctly the first time. So if it costs you, I'm not sure what you charge for a consultation, costs you a couple $1,000 to get your whole thing set up. Trust me, it'll save you when it's time to get audited or time for the IRS to come back and want to go through all your paperwork. So that's why we do this.
Yes,
this
sir.
is the Jewels season number 2. We're going to also try to be offering you guys, I want you guys to tune into our real estate show. We have literally started putting shows together on YouTube where that's what's been taking up a lot of our time.
Yeah.
Where you can see us actually showing you what repairs cost, showing you properties that are good, going through the ugly. Like I got another deal I just did where the sewer line is busted and the foundation hit. I'm like, that's a $35,000 hit. I can't wait to go through that with you guys.
Let's go. We're going to show you the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. So that's the Jewels, man. And where can they find you, Chris? And then go for me.
You can find me, Chris Keller, on Facebook, Chris_provision_Keller on Instagram. TikTok is new, so I will shoot y'all that one later. But just contact me mainly Facebook though under Chris Keller. It's fine with me,
and then his YouTube page is Chris Keller.
Yeah, my YouTube page is coming. We under construction though, but we dropping though. So be on the lookout for Ryan Call and Chris Keller on the YouTube. You be seeing us in each other's episodes though. And
you can catch me on Instagram, Real Ron Call. You can catch me on Facebook, Ronald Call, or our Wholesale Unlimited group. We basically talk about all real estate. Like I'm not one of those people that focus just on one thing because real estate's not one thing. We're not one thing. So you'll see me adding so much more value from a collective. Like, okay, you might want to do a rental property. You may want to do a flip. You may want to do a lease option. You may want to do a sub too if you're going to make that payment. Watch that. You're going to be coming over to talk to Gwen about a whole lot more problems if you mess that up. Well, so that's it, guys. I really appreciate you, and we're going to try to keep these rolling. And that's the season 2, part 1. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure.